Check, 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 check. Hey, welcome back to all my viewers. Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out from Australia. Yes, Australia. Oh my God, it's so nice to know that I've reached that far. When you make a decision to do something, that one decision can propel you forward, and I'm so grateful. I'm your girl boss Blondie, and this is episode 7 of Sunset Chat. Now, today we're going to continue to focus on mental health, and specifically depression. Yeah, so as you know, when the sun rises we give thanks, and when the sun sets, it's only fair and right that we give thanks, reason with ourselves and life, and to see if the day's experience brought us anything that we need to reflect upon. And so let's get into the reasoning. So today I'm going to be talking about facing the truth about your depression. For me, that was not an easy task because I never used to say that I was depressed. I didn't think that I was depressed. Persons used to tell me, say, oh, you need to smile more, or everything you get so upset about, or why you always by yourself, or why you always act, grumpy or miserable, or you're always angry. Yeah, so I never wanted to admit that I was depressed at all. And when I really started to look into myself and realize that, yeah, this is depression, was when it started to hurt. And yes, I've had suicide thoughts. Yes, I tried to cut myself, write suicide letters, write threatening letters saying that, oh, I'm going to hurt myself, so it doesn't matter. I remember once when I was 17, I took some pills, and I remember when I woke up the next morning, it was like, what? Why am I still alive? Because I wrote this in my head, the best suicide letter ever. So yeah, when my mom and whomever find it, they're gonna be hurt. And that was what I wanted to share, what I was feeling without words in the living. So you have to really face what you're feeling, because it will lead you to do things. And it's not everybody is expressive, and it's not everybody who's strong enough to just snap out of it. Sometimes it takes you through a phase and a nice long process of facing it, like looking deep in the eyes of the depression and saying, all right, then I have this is what makes me feel like this, and just get with it. It's a process, and it's an individual process. As I said, suicide was something that came across my mind, and a lot of persons think that suicide is selfish and it's the worst thing you can do, and it goes against God and life. And yes, whilst that is true, you have to remember that the persons are suffering, so they're only thinking about their suffering at that time, not how you would feel or how you're feeling about what they're going through. And so it wouldn't even really matter to them. Another thing is, I comfort eat. That is a way of dealing with it. So I eat my depression away, and it's not food. If it was food, it wouldn't be so bad. But I eat a lot of sweets, and I have eczema, so that's not good for it. And I pretty much try to figure out, how and why I do it. And then I realized that that's a part of depression. Didn't want to admit that, but when you gain weight, you depress even more, because you don't want to look like that. You don't want to take some type of photos. You don't want to go certain places because you can't fit in the clothes that you think in your head that you look like you can fit in. And when you realize that you can't, it can take another toll on you. So facing it is important, because at the end of the day, it allows you to see things for what they are, and it allows you to get over that hurdle of the denial phase and the additional strain that it put upon the brain when you have to realize, it's not what you think it is. So I've had that experience, and I just thought that I would share, because there are persons who don't want to mention the habits that comes with it. There are persons who don't admit that they have certain symptoms that comes with it. Aside from what you can do to yourself with your lifestyle habits, it actually triggers a lot of illnesses. So if you're in a state for however long, you might develop complications, you might develop certain illnesses that you're wondering, that's not in my family, I never had that before, so where is the source? And as I say, you have to really look deep and see that it affects everything. It doesn't just affect, you know, for the moment. It can be something that lingers and just be there with you forever. Coming out of that mindset is very important, but even facing that you have an issue is of a greater importance, because if you don't know you have an issue, how can you fix it? As persons would like to say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if you don't know it's broken, how would you even decide that you're gonna start? So it is important that we share, because how I deal with it may not be how you deal with it, but if I share what I have done and you see the process that I've been through and what the results are, then maybe it would inspire you to try something else that would be fitting for you. So that's the message for today. Facing it. You have to face the truth of your depression. You have to look deep within, find a way to just get it out and start healing. For me, it was comfort eating, it was the slashing of the wrist, it was pill taking, it was suicidal thoughts, just thinking that I wasn't supposed to be here and I don't need to be here and there's nothing better for me in the world. But of course, I now know, because I held on, that that's not true. So, I'm your girl Boss Blondie. This was another episode of Sunset Chat. Peace, love, light, and many blessings. I'm out.